Hey everyone, I'm out here in the garage and what we're going to be doing today is examining an oil leak in the 2004 Honda Pilot. So stay tuned. So if you're new to the channel, I just want to welcome you here and hopefully you'll consider subscribing if you like what you see. Also, check out Car Apprentice on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I post lots of pictures and videos on those platforms before I post anything on YouTube. And occasionally I'll post things on those platforms I don't post on YouTube. Also, check out the website at carapprentice.com. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video. So prior to purchasing the 2004 Honda Pilot, I did a little mini inspection on it. And one of the things I noticed was that there was a lot of oil on the passenger side of the engine compartment. The seller also mentioned adding some power steering fluid to the reservoir to bring it up to the proper level. So I assumed that most likely I had some sort of power steering leak. So when I took the car for a test drive, the steering was just fine, nice and smooth. I didn't hear any weird noises or anything like that. So I figured it was probably a power steering line that had a leak. Since I got a little more into the mechanical work, I'm going to take a look and see what we can find. So, let's get into it. Alright, so examining the area around the oil pan, it became apparent that the leak was originating from the oil pan. If you run into a similar situation and can't figure out the source of the leak, adding a little UV dye meant for engine oil and running the car for a few minutes might reveal it. It's not uncommon for drain plugs to not be tightened to the proper spec, or for the drain plug's crush washer to not be replaced when the engine oil is changed, causing a leak. We're going to drain the oil and see what we can find. By the way, the normal oil change interval for the Pilot is 7,500 miles or 1 year, whichever comes first. The Pilot's engine has been warmed slightly and I have the car on jack stands. Check out the video I made on jacking up the front end of the Pilot if you're unsure. You can also use car ramps. So check out the video I made a few years ago on my other channel where I review and use a set of car ramps. Next, we'll pop the hood and remove the oil filler cap to help the oil drain easier. Under the car, I have a metal pan to protect the floor from oil and a plastic pan to catch the oil. The drain plug was really tight, so I used a 17mm socket on a breaker bar to crack it loose. Before fully removing the drain plug, I lifted the plastic pan to catch the initial rush of oil, then carefully set it down on the metal pan as the oil continued to drain. While the oil drained, I examined the crush washer. Yeah, that's not the correct washer. As you can see, it's mushroomed and most likely not sealing adequately. To remove the washer from the drain plug, I started with the cutoff wheel on a Dremel. But a mini hacksaw was a safer bet to not risk cutting into the drain plug's head. Here's the new and correct washer. Part number is 94109-14000. Yeah, that fits much better. Alright, so back under the car, we'll remove the oil filter by grasping it and spinning it off. If you have difficulty removing the filter, a strap wrench or an oil filter wrench, such as part number 07912-6110001 might be useful. Here's the oil filter we'll be installing. It's Mobil 1 M1110A. Before installing the filter on the car, I ran a little 5W20 full synthetic oil around the gasket. I wiped the area underneath the car, then installed the filter, tightening it until the gasket made contact. I then proceeded to tighten it another 7/8 of a turn. If you use an oil filter wrench to tighten the filter, The torque spec is 16 foot-pounds. Next, I install the drain plug, tightening it to 29 foot-pounds. Alright, so now that the drain plug with the new washer and the oil filter have been installed, we're ready to add oil. I placed a large funnel into the filler neck, then poured in 5 quarts of oil and reinstalled the filler cap. Yes, I'll admit that I cheated a little bit here and only added 5 quarts of oil instead of the required 5.1 quarts. With the car back on the ground, the engine should be run for about 3 minutes before checking the oil level. I removed the dipstick, cleaned off the oil with the towel, then fully reinserted the dipstick and pulled it out to check the oil level. It should fall between these two holes that represent the min and max levels respectively. And that's it. Alright, so there you have it. Very cheap fix in this case. So that turned out to be a crush washer that was the incorrect size for the drain plug. I don't know how you would do something like that and expect it's going to seal and keep the oil from coming out of there, but sometimes people do things like that, I guess. So we got the correct drain plug washer on there, got that sealed up, also gave us an opportunity to change the oil on this car, so we got that done, and we'll just keep on moving. So hopefully this information was helpful, and thanks for watching.